it looks like I'm gonna be doing a video now almost every day. That wasn't my plan. But I've been forced to make this video because of the developments in Kenya. Today, President Ruto, in my opinion, became a man. Yes, today, President Ruto is no longer a boy, somebody to play around with. President Ruto today called the bluff on Rigathi Gachagua and those who are trying to say Ruto must go. In my last video, I said when the Constitution guarantees Ruto's term for 5 years. Yes, the people can recall Ruto, but the way the people can recall Ruto is through impeachment. Therefore, those who are saying Ruto must go, don't say it out there. If you feel that there's many of you, if you feel that a lot of you are dissatisfied with Ruto, and if you feel that you as the leader of the opposition have a clout, the ways to remove Ruto are well enshrined in the Constitution. The Constitution says the power belongs to the people. They can exercise that power through their representatives or directly. The directly one is a little not clear, because directly would mean a lot of people would come together and they would tell Ruto, or they would arrest Ruto and tell him to leave. It appears so far that there is not enough people to tell Ruto to do that. Ruto still has support in the country. Therefore, the only other way to remove him is what I said in my previous video, to wait for 2027 and vote him out. That's fair game. But today, I want to tell the opposition that if you do feel that you are a big number, if you have the clout, bring a motion of no confidence in the president and impeach him. Impeach him in the National Assembly, and then go ahead and impeach him in the Senate. And President Ruto will leave. Don't talk about it. Don't keep saying, I'll do it. Don't be the crying wolf. You keep saying, I'll do this, I'll do this. Don't say that. Just do it. The way Ruto impeached Gachagua. Gachagua was impeached by a majority of the elected representatives. And those representatives came from all over the country. So if those in the opposition or those who are saying that Ruto must go, go ahead and do your numbers and don't talk too much. Fill in a motion, file a motion, impeach Ruto, let him leave before 2027, if you can do it. But if you can't do it, shut up. There's no reason to tell us that Ruto must go in 2027. It's too early. Yes, it's obvious that every election is supposed to be fair, and every election will have a winner and a loser, and Ruto can lose. And if Ruto loses, he will leave. You don't have to tell him Ruto must go now. Now, let me tell you something. When I was a little boy, I was bullied in school. And I fell for it. But I'll tell this story elsewhere. I stood up to the person bullying me, and it stopped. Today, I feel that Ruto stood up. Because imagine you are a elementary school kid. I guess you guys say primary school. And there is somebody there who keeps telling you, wewe ni mjinga, wewe ni mwongo, wewe ni baragoi. Huh? You are not worth it. You are a crazy kid. Every time they're telling you. But imagine they're telling you that and you are the head boy. And they keep telling you, ikifika saa 10, nitapambana na wewe. Baada ya shule, nitapambana na wewe. Utaniona. They keep telling you that. They can't wait for baada ya shule. They keep telling you all the time. Kama uko kwa darasa, uko kwa class, wanakuambia, wewe ni baragoi. What will you do? I bet you, tribe will not matter. You will stand up and you will tell that person, listen, I'm the head boy. I was elected the head boy because maybe I had good support. Maybe because the people thought I was good. Maybe the teachers thought I was good. But if you're not going to represent me as the head boy during school hours, then bring it on now. Let's fight right here. Anyway, that's a little too far of a stretch. But let me come back to this. Ruto today called Riggy'S bluff. Yes, that's what was necessary. In my previous video, I was for peace. I'm still for peace. Today, I'm not wearing my white heart. Why? Because after I suggested peace, you can see the leaders took it. Raila said, guys, let's have the conclave. You guys, how did you react? You rejected it. The vice president, deputy president, Kithure Kindiki, said, let's talk. If you have an issue, bring it. You all said, oh, you kona sauti ndogo. Mr. Yes, that's what you said. You did not embrace the side to negotiate for what you want. Because what you want can be achieved through talk. It's not time for elections. We know that. What you want can be achieved through talk so that we can have a country until 2027. Yes, we do need that country. We do need our homes until 2027. You cannot continue to make the roads impossible. You cannot continue to make the business premises inaccessible. You cannot continue to declare holidays. Who the heck gave you the powers to declare holidays? Yes, you can brag that you shut down the government, but who gave you that power in the Constitution? Nobody. The power rests with the president, the parliament, the judiciary. Those are the people who have the power to declare that there is a holiday, not you. We want the tourists to visit Nairobi. We want Nairobi to be better than Abidjan, to be better than Lagos, to be better than Johannesburg. We want Nairobi to succeed in attracting good business deals. But if you perpetually cause Nairobi to look like a place that people don't want to be, that is sad. Let me tell you something. Kenya always apes United States. I keep saying that. You keep saying, if this happened in the United States has a democracy. That's right. All this stuff that Rigathi Gachagua is saying, if Hakeem Jeffries had said these things, he would be arrested. That's true. He would be arrested. You cannot go on about and saying, wewe muongo, huh? Wewe, all those things you say, he would be arrested. I don't have to repeat them. But here in the United States, protests are peaceful. And the moment you become violent, that is when you will know that there are snipers in the United States. That is when you will know that you will be branded a terrorist. That is when you will know that whether you're white or black or green or blue, it won't matter. You will be taken out. You cannot come to the streets anywhere, whether it is in Cincinnati, whether it is in Orlando or Atlanta or New York or DC. You cannot come to the streets and cause chaos. You will be shot. You cannot loot. You will be shot. And when they'll be shooting you, they will shoot you in the heart or in the head. Because no police officer wants to deal with lawsuits. And also, not just that, but what's most important is that nobody wants, once it has been deemed that you are a threat to society, you will be shot. You will be called a terrorist. Here in the United States of America, where the Constitution is much older and it is much more respected than the Kenyans respect their Constitution. So today, I'm really happy that President Ruto became a man and he called Rigathi Gachagua's bluff. And he told Rigathi Gachagua, you cannot continue to disrupt businesses. You cannot continue to call on these demonstrations. You cannot continue to say the things you're saying without proof. Where is your proof? File it in court. You have lawyers, you have money. File it in court. Put it where it can be challenged. Write a statement. Don't just come to the press and read it and keep talking and alleging things that are in your head. Let me say one other thing, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I've reminded you many times that the British government considered Jomo Kenyatta a terrorist. The British government jailed Jomo Kenyatta because of the style of the Mau Mau, beheading the white people. It was gonna work. Maybe it would have taken a long time for it to work. But it required mediation and negotiation. And that's where people like Jaramogi Oginga Odinga came in and they were able to talk to the white people. And the white people were scared. They were ready to give power, not to Jomo Kenyatta, but to the level-headed folks. But obviously, I don't have to beat the drum until it doesn't sound anymore. Jaramogi Oginga Odinga said, not yet Uhuru. Our leader is Jomo Kenyatta. And then we got independence. Let me remind you guys, in 2002, Raila's options had dwindled. He looked left, he looked right, and he said the only way to defeat Moi's project, which was Uhuru Kenyatta at that time, was to declare that Kibaki tosha. Raila Odinga declared Kibaki tosha. And therefore, we elected Kibaki. The reason why I remind you that is because of this hashtag that has come up today. The hashtag says, we are all Kikuyus. Because Gachagua says that people of all tribes are demonstrating. And therefore, if we are saying it's only Kikuyus demonstrating, then we are all Kikuyus. That hashtag is a misnomer. It's not what it is. We are not all Kikuyus. We are Kenyans first, but we belong to different tribes. Do not try to erase that. We have tribes, and we are damn proud about it. And we are not guilty of saying that we are Luos or Luyas or Kitaitas or whatever. And when we do that, it doesn't mean we are tribal. I've just given you an example when in 2 occasions, a Luo said a Kikuyu was better at this time. We did it. When has the majority of Kikuyu said that a Luo is better? There's a video that has come out there when Rigathi Gachagua is saying that Kikuyus can vote for anybody, and they can prove it by voting for, since they voted for William Ruto. Yeah, true. But what's the underlying facts? They voted for William Ruto because Uhuru Kenyatta was telling them to vote for Raila Odinga. Guess what they did? They said nada. They cannot do that. Why? It is because of the oath. This oath was taken many years ago by the Kikuyu elders. I'm not the one saying it. I don't even care about it, whether it was taken or not. When it was being taken, I was a little boy. But the oath was taken. I'm not the one who has proof of it, but just look among the Kikuyu. Look among one Mutahi Ngunyi. This is the man who phrased the hashtag tyranny of numbers, which eventually was used to rig Raila out of the presidency. Tyranny of numbers. That is what brought Uhuruto into power. Tyranny of numbers. That tyranny of numbers guy, the tyranny of numbers guy, has a video now circulating that tells you very clearly, unequivocal, undisputed. Let any Kikuyu deny this fact, that an oath was taken. The oath that was taken was that the presidency was never going to leave Kikuyu land. No, it's actually better than that. The presidency of Kenya was never going to leave Kikuyu land, nor will it ever get beyond River Chania. That's the oath that was taken. And it was never going to be given to anybody who is not. Let me not say it. That presidency was never going to be given to anybody who is a Gentile. Yes, go to the Bible and know who is a Gentile and who's not. We were branded Gentiles. The presidency was never going to come to us. That is why, even when Uhuru Kenyatta was telling them, vote for Raila, they went to vote for Ruto. It wasn't because Ruto was a good man. Ruto had killed Kikuyus in Kiambaa. They knew Ruto is a bad guy, but they made peace with him because they could not vote for a Gentile. It is that sad. And therefore, we have President Ruto because you voted for him. And not only did you vote for him, but let me also put it this way. Ruto opposed this constitution. Ruto campaigned against this constitution. Ruto did not only campaign against this constitution, Ruto campaigned against BBI. BBI was going to bring good things to the Central Province. Remember that saying that you had? One man, one shilling, one vote. Who was pushing it for you? One Raila Amolo Odinga Owad Gakinyi. He was pushing for you to get that, so that your numbers can count, so that you can get more money based on the population of your areas. But guess who campaigned against it? It was William Ruto. But just because after Ruto won with Gachagua, Gachagua told people that Raila Odinga is a devil. Raila Odinga ni mtu mbaya. Even after Gachagua won, after Ruto won, Gachagua went and said this. Haitawezekana. Huyu jamaa anachochea, akishashindwa anakuja anataka handshake, anataka. Gachagua said, it will not happen. Gachagua said, not only that will it not happen, but even when Ruto is out of the country, Gachagua said, ni yeye ameweka hizo mitego. He has put all traps. So Raila cannot even come through the back door or through the window in the State House. And he said he has all agents who are spying, so that even if they just see that Raila Odinga is about to get in there to talk to President Ruto, Gachagua will know and block him. Gachagua did not only say that. Guess what else he said? When it comes to the distribution of the national positions of leadership, he said, no way. Ruto cannot go out and start giving opposition any positions. He said, his serikali ni shares. It has shareholders. So nobody should get anything if they did not vote for William Ruto. That's what Gachagua said. And as time went by, Raila Odinga decided, I want to go to become the leader of the Africa Union Commission chair. I want to get out. I've had my try. I've tried the presidency many times. Whether it's been stolen or not, that's not what matters anymore. Let me just leave. If I leave, the leader of the opposition is going to be sorted out. I don't even want to name anybody. I don't want to mess up with anybody. Ruto is president. Gachagua is vice president, deputy president. Let me just go and follow my ambition to become the chair of the Africa Union Commission. Guess what campaign started in earnest? No, not Raila. The Central Province, the Mount Kenya, had a lot of people saying, huyu jamaa ni kihe, haezi asipate ikiti. They campaigned, they decampaigned Raila. They did everything. They were cheering. Obviously, Ruto made his mistakes. I'm not saying that it's because these people who were against Raila are the ones that made Raila lose that seat. That's not the truth. The truth of the matter is that Africa has its own politics. There is the countries that are Arabic. There are countries that are West African, South African. And there was the issue of the Palestine. Israel had occupied Palestine, and it was very bad because Israel was doing very bad things to the Palestinians. And Ruto made a mistake, and whether it's a mistake or not, I'm not going to criticize him or say anything, but he took a position. He supported Israel. And you know, when you support Israel, all those Palestinian or all those Arabic countries, what are they going to do? They're going to say, hey, we cannot vote for somebody whose president is against the Arabic community. So they all gang together and voted for the Djibouti candidate. And that's how Raila lost the AU seat. But I want to remind you that Raila wanted to be out. Raila wanted to leave it so that the presidency of Gachagua or Ruto and Gachagua would come to be, you know, stately, and they do good things for Kenya. But guess what? Those who took the oath that a man who is a Gentile should not be a leader took over, and they decampaigned Raila. It was so bad. And that's when those of us who campaigned for Raila, who advised Raila, we are not blind to what you guys did. We have seen how you have shortchanged Raila all these years. And when you're shortchanging Raila, you're not just shortchanging Raila. Because of that oath, you are shortchanging all of us. We have seen it. And therefore, now, when Ruto and Raila found peace, guess what? Gachagua couldn't be happy. He couldn't. And he started doing things in government that were not acceptable. And of course, Ruto has his own walakini. Ruto has his own issues. But when Ruto had his issues, did Gachagua support Ruto? No. He went and called his own press conference and agreed with the opposition. Why? Because he saw that Ruto has warmed up to Raila. And now that Raila has left Ruto, has left Uhuru, suddenly, this man that Gachagua told us was not a good leader, this man that Gachagua sent his militia to terrorize by stealing his sheep, burning his trees and forest, and occupying the land that belongs to Uhuru Kenyatta and Mama Ngina Kenyatta. now Uhuru was good. They made peace. Why? Because Ruto and Raila, now Raila is on the other side. So today you had Rigathi Gachagua in his own mouth saying, we can vote for anybody. We've proved it by voting for Ruto, and we can vote for a Luya, we can vote for a Kisi, we can vote for a Maasai. The man could not say, we can vote for a Luo. I challenge Rigathi Gachagua and those who are supporting him, come out clear and just say, we denounce the oath. The oath that was taken by our grandparents is not binding. It does not hold us together. We respect the Luo, and a Luo can be our leader. And show it. Show it. You just formed a party. Don't give Luo positions that are down here. Make the Luo the chairman of the party. It won't steal your party. It will just show that the oath is not still working. That oath is still working in you, guys. That's why you are like that. So today, I'm very happy with President William Ruto. He has told Gachagua that if you cannot come to the table and state your things clearly and write whatever, I'm not gonna take it anymore. What you're doing is terrorism. And I agree with him. I agree with Ruto. I didn't want to say it, but he has said it. I have said it in a polite way that these people don't want to wait for 2027. They're not talking about Ruto must go in 2027. They were not talking about Muongo Mwizi and all that, 2027 tunamtoa. No, they wanted him to be gone right now. They were cheering and happy when Gen Z takes the street. When Gen Z went to parliament, there was cheer. Now, don't get me wrong, Gen Z need jobs. And Ruto is not perfect. They lied together with Uhuru about laptops and all that. Ruto lied together with Gachagua about a lot of things. So we cannot blame Ruto alone for lies. Politicians lie when they want votes. And then when they get there, they don't give it to us. Look how quickly they come together when it is something to do with giving them CDF. Look how quickly they come together when it's about increasing their own salary. That's politics and that's politicians. But there is another thing that is not really politics. I call them Pharisees, where they just are a green grass on the snake. No, I said that like Mulili. They are a green snake in the grass. You get me? Because in this time, when they're in this side, they're saying this. But when they come back this side, they're saying that. Gachagua is just unhappy because he's not in government. And if Gachagua is very sure that he can beat Ruto in 2027, why don't you just do your campaigns? It's okay. Today you can be in Kisii, campaign. You don't have to campaign with those very tough slogans that are annoying and are abusing other people. Just campaign with what you will do. Gachagua, look at your campaign slogans. Is there any that is telling us what you will do? Tell us what you will do when you become president. Tell us what you're doing now to help the Kenyan people. Your agenda is Rasmau. Yes, I've said it before. Your agenda is Rasmau. Ruto, arudi Sugoi, Mukikuyu, apate usukani. That is your agenda. Because if you had an agenda, you'd be telling us how the people can go to schools without paying any fees. Where are you going to get the money? You could be telling us how farmers are going to get their fertilizer, how the price of coffee should go up. What mechanism are you talking? Don't just complain about it. Tell us what you're going to do. Tell us how the dollar is going to come down. What policies will you put for the dollar to go down? And talking about that, ladies and gentlemen, there's one other part that I've always missed here. Some of us are in the diaspora, and we are watching. We are watching how Kenya is going. And we are seeing how you're messing up. We see democracies here, and you claim that you're trying to ape these democracies, but you're not doing these democracies. You're not doing what's happening abroad here. Do not cause chaos. When you go to march, take your placard. You can march without even uttering a word. You can march from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Go home. You don't have to go into shops to break them down. You don't have to do crazy stuff, block a street. Someone else needs that street. The person you're blocking that street to, you're blocking the street, preventing people to go. You are actually interfering with their day-to-day activities. When you're coming and people are running and people are getting tear gas they didn't deserve because of you, that's not demonstration. That's a riot. Riots are handled by anti-riot police. Anti-riot police are given training how to disperse riots with the tear gas, with batons, and even with guns. If people have decided to be thugs and break into stores and steal, yes, if you start looting, I think it's a general known fact that the police can arrest regular people, but when you become a looter, from what I know, I don't care whether it's in whichever constitution, looters are shot. You don't loot. You don't take other people's property. Protesters, please learn that. Gen Z, learn that. Protect your life. Don't do stuff that will make you get a bullet on your butt. And that's if you're lucky. Do not take anybody's property when you're demonstrating. Do not break into anybody's property when you're demonstrating. That turns it into a riot. And once it's a riot, it can also turn into looting, and you will be shot. And once you become a terrorist, you are giving Ruto the tools to deal with you like a terrorist. So when we are seeing police come with hooded things and cars that have no number plates, what do you expect? How do you expect to fight terrorism? Terrorism is not something that is easy to confront. We don't know who is funding these protesters who are actually turning into looters and arsonists and gun grabbers. We don't, and police station destroyers. We don't know them. So in order to stop them, what will the police do? They will use whatever means necessary to stop that, because Ruto has taken an oath to keep us safe, to keep Nairobi safe, so that tourists can come. So don't do stuff that make yourself be at risk. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that the police also need just to shoot anybody who didn't do that. The police need to exercise restraint, whether they are hooded or not. They do not need to defile human rights. They do not need to shoot anybody without cause when their life is not in danger. The police needs to practice what they do. But how can you help it? Who makes the people go out on the streets? When the people go out on the streets, and we know the Kenyans cannot interpret a demonstration to be a demonstration. The Kenyans are interpreting a demonstration to be a riot, whereby you have to light a tire, unaweka moto, you start doing crazy stuff. That's not demonstration. Demonstration is simply much. By the way, demonstration, it can even be just standing. We saw in Tiananmen Square, one person just stood in front of a tank. Did he light a fire? Did he loot a store? Let me tell you, here in America, demonstrations are peaceful. Some of us don't like Trump. In Nigeria, they don't like Tinubu. So a lot of people don't like Tinubu. But when they demonstrate, there is no violence. Tell me why there is violence in Kenya. Tell me why. Now, if it is the politicians who have done that, then it is a sorry state. It's a sorry state We need legislation that's gonna shape demonstration, whereby any politician or anybody who is an aspiring politician who is not happy with the way things are going, they need to get permission to demonstrate. Let me rephrase that, because I know you're gonna attack me. Not permission. They need to notify where they are going to demonstrate. They're gonna demonstrate at that location, and the police and the government should prevent them from demonstrating in the CBD. The CBD is non-partisan. The person selling downtown in CBD, whether they are Kikuyu, Luya, Luo, or Indian, or Pakistani, they deserve to do their business. You should not come to disrupt their business. Therefore, the people demonstrating need to go somewhere. Waende na huko. Now, when they say they're demonstrating there, let them get safety, protection by the police. Let them demonstrate until the chicken come home to roost. Then let them go home. The police should come there knowing that these are good people. They have said what they're demonstrating for. If they're handing in petition, whatever they want to do, let them do. But let not the people miss to do their businesses in the CBD. So that is it from me, ladies and gentlemen. I want to let you know, Kenya is our country and we are in it together. Okay? Ruto, shika usukani. Shika usukani. Don't let the country go down the drain. Mr. Mukomen, you're doing a better job. You're doing a better job. But you're not yet where Michuki was. Because if Michuki was the minister or in charge of internal security, all these shenanigans wouldn't be happening. He would be tougher. And therefore, Ruto, I know who you need there. You need Oscar Sudi. Oscar Sudi is not going to take that nonsense. We need a country. We need a place to call home until 2027. Then we go to elections. And then we elect whoever we want. And if Ruto wins, Gachagua needs to tell us he's willing to accept that Ruto won. We will not want any fracas at that time. If you disagree with the decision, you go to court, the way Raila has gone several times. Ruto, if you lose in 2027, take it easy, go. Do not feel bitter, because it's the people who decide. It will merely mean that the people have decided that you needed only 5 years. You will accept and you will hand over to whoever is elected. So we should not have any hardening of positions. And we shouldn't continue on this campaign like it is tomorrow. Gachagua, you can campaign, you can go anywhere in the country, but do not breathe fire by charging up the crowd with words that are inflating, not just words that are making the government sit on the edge, but also hyping your supporters. When you hype your supporters, that's why they do what they do. When you hype them and give them false hope and they think that tomorrow Ruto is going home, Ruto is not going home tomorrow. It's not happening tomorrow. Some of them are looting these shops because they are thinking that this is the day that I don't know, this is victory day. Today is not victory day. There is no election. If you loot the store, even what you take today will finish. But election will be in 2027. Anyway, you've heard me. I could go on and on, but that's it. Take care.
Kenya inchi yangu iliyo uhuru. Inchi iliyo uhuru. Toka sasa mpaka milele.